You can't force your employees to put up their best performance, but you can motivate them to be willing to give their all to your farm. Today, we'll be looking at some simple and inexpensive ways to motivate your farm attendant. Here is how to motivate your attendant. 1. Be nice to them. 2. Be open. 3. Pay them on time. 4. Spend quality time with them. 5. Be flexible. 6. Give incentives. And 7. Provide them with their basic needs. Now, here is the breakdown of each point. 1. Be a nice boss. No one doubts the ownership of the farm. It is yours. As to how you manage to raise the capital to start it, your farm attendant might not know or might not be interested. Being the farm owner does not permit you to be rude to your employee. Be nice to them. Address them as your own personal persons. Be open to them. Let them confide in you as a person. Do not make them feel you are being arrogant because the farm is yours. In fact, talk to them as your family members, even if they are not. Praise them for the good work done. What I have observed is that anytime a boss is talking to an employee, he is either scolding or blaming them. Be transparent, award or praise where necessary, and punish if possible. Treat them right. Being nice doesn't mean you should be mute in situations you need to be a little tough on them. Let them know you are both in business, and as long as the farm succeeds, both of you will benefit from it. Give them a reason to stay with you. Be the boss that no other farm can easily steal your best farm staff from you. If they share their wins, celebrate with them. As simple as congratulations on that will go a long way to keep them. If they share their fears and worries with you, encourage them to be positive. You can even go further to share a similar experience with them. Being a little vulnerable makes you human and trustworthy. Doing all this, your farm attendant will begin to feel that should they hurt you, they hurt themselves also. Don't be the shouting type. Mistakes are bound to happen. Accept their shortcomings and work with them to improve upon their weaknesses. There was one time my mom, who is also the caretaker, made me lose 12 piglets from two of my sows. She was more worried than myself, but I asked her to forget about it. We cannot always win. If you always win, learning to improve becomes less important. I told her what to do in situations like that, and since then, leave 10 sows following at the same time in her care, and she will have them all safe and sound. Never make your worker feel less human. Appreciate them. 2. Let them see the future of your farm. If you are of the belief that once your farm worker knows your plans, he will steal them somewhere else, stop it. No one steals a business idea. Your uniqueness will make you very competitive and you will win. Letting your farm worker understand that it is today they are cleaning the pen and feeding pigs. Tomorrow, they will be the ones in charge of taking reports from other workers will motivate them. With this, they begin to see themselves in the management roles and will want to work harder to reach that stage to deserve the benefits as soon as possible. If your farm is known to always feed the pigs manually, assuring the workers that very soon supplying feed and water will be automated, less work for them, but they will still keep the same salary, if not increased, will serve as a relief whenever they think about the stress they are currently going through. Being able to tap into the emotions of people is useful for survival. Mean your words and work towards keeping your promises you made to them. 3. Pay them on time. I did some menial jobs in the past few years, and you know what I learned from it? We were always paid 2 weeks late after the end of month. If you do not still know me that well, I am very analytical. I try to understand why certain things happen. From my findings, the employer had it in mind that should he pay workers on time, they might leave the company, and for him to keep you forever, there was a need to pay you late. No one will quit a job after working for 2 weeks in the month. They will want to end the month so as to get paid. With that, he could always keep his employees. This is what I call wickedness. Don't let people see frustrations in the face of your worker. Pay them on time. If they are used to receiving their alert on every 25th, surprise them one day by paying them on the 20th. This can be much easier if you pay them directly from your phone. Don't let salary be the only money your worker gets. Let them earn commissions every time you make sales on the farm or anytime they bring in a buyer. On my farm, if I enter to catch a pig for you, there's a tip I must get from you. You can have your farm worker do the catching so he earns something extra aside his salary. 4. Spend time with your workers. When was the last time you sat with your worker talking about something unrelated to work? If you have not been doing that, it is time to start one. It really pays to take the attention of your staff off work into another adventures. How will you feel as a worker in a chocolate manufacturing company, yet you have never tasted any of the chocolate you produce? Sad, right? Exactly what your farm worker is feeling. Have get-togethers with them occasionally. You can even have a pig slaughtered, prepared and served as you sit to discuss other aspects of life other than pig farming. Everything I say is actually something I have practiced. For instance, I have children in the various households in the area where my farm is located. What they do is to collect the peels of cassava or yam from their parents and keep them at safer places or bring them if they can. I don't give them any rewards in monetary form. Occasionally, I share pork with them anytime I personally slaughter a pig. I wasn't surprised when a parent said to me that his children demanded they prepared fufu every day in their house. The children sometimes quarrel among themselves as to who carries the pills to me. 5. Be flexible with the workers. Trust them and avoid being too strict to the extent of installing cameras. If you don't trust them, why employ them in the first place? Allow them to explore different methods on their own. Yours is to guide them to reduce the side effects if they must occur. Even if you are 100% sure that the worker is a thief, just pretend and keep an open eye. One effective way to safeguard your belongings is to leave it in the care of the suspect. Why steal it when you know they would definitely ask for it back from you? One disadvantage of being strict and rigid is that your farm worker will be reluctant to report a sick pig to you. He will watch it die. After all, the death of a pig does not reduce his salary. 6. Give them gift incentives. If you live far from the farm, periodically sending airtime to your worker is very effective. You show to your worker that even though you are away, you will still remember them. If he's a young guy very interested in sneakers, surprise him when returning from the trip with one. If there is a particular thing he is so much into, try getting him one as a gift or at a reasonable discount. Of course, you can't afford to allow your worker to slaughter a pig for himself, but if you have some domestic birds around, permitting him use one for his supper instead of the regular frozen chicken will make him love to work for you even more. 7. Provide basic needs. Having accommodation on your farm for the worker is a great way to keep workers safe and motivated. Why do you think bungalows are built for staff if you cannot afford to pay the rent for them? At least trying to complement their contribution will make them feel happy. Of course, workers don't work with empty stomachs. Provide food for them where possible. You must supply the vegetables while they do the cereal aspect. Most farm owners prefer to buy a bag of rice for their workers, while the workers sort the ingredients for the stew preparation by themselves. Paying them salaries alone is not enough to get the best from your workers. Insurance should not only be seen as the sole practice of big companies, you can incorporate that where possible. I would love to hear from you how you motivate your workers. Do you do the farming yourself or you have people helping you? And how do you motivate them? Don't also forget to subscribe and like the video.